This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, hope you're all enjoying this nice, sunny, hot Friday and looking forward to the weekend, no doubt. Now, going by the comment section of the previous video, where of course we announced that Sky Sports will be showing the Oleksandr Usyk versus Anthony Joshua Part 2, the rematch on August the 20th from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, rage on the Red Sea. Well, Sky Sports have acquired the rights as far as the UK is concerned. Now, we still don't know the rights as far as America and that is concerned. I'm sure we'll find out in time. But with the comments, there seems to be some repetitive comments. And of course, a lot of people will already know the answer, of course. But again, you see a lot of people are new into boxing. But there are some repetitive questions, such as, does that mean that Eddie Hearn will not be promoting this fight? Now, Eddie Hearn, he sold the rights to the Saudis as far as the TV viewership is concerned. Okay, they will find and negotiate with the different TV platforms in and around the world. Okay, but he didn't sell the promotional rights. So Eddie Hearn, no matter what platform it's going to be on, he is still the promoter for this fight. Some people have asked, does that mean that Ben Shalom will be promoting this particular fight? No, he won't be. Now, that's not to say Ben Shalom won't be involved in some kind of way. Maybe he'll help with the production of as far as the TV and that is concerned and whatever else. Maybe he'll be part of the Punchy team, but he will not be the promoter, okay? Now, other questions raised, such as, and this was one of my concerns as well, which is what kind of undercard will Eddie Hearn now put on now that Sky Sports has the UK rights? Obviously, Sky Sports is in his former employer. He's left Sky Sports, now he's exclusive with DAZN. He would have wanted this particular fight on DAZN, because obviously Anthony Joshua, the name, the brand, drives in numbers. Okay, that would have helped the DAZN platform, no doubt. Of course, it would have done. But now that isn't happening, will that affect the undercard? Now, firstly, Eddie Hearn, he's put on so many fight nights, and usually he'll put on very, very good undercards. He'll put on the odd stinker, of course he will, but he does put on very, very good undercards. But if you cast your minds back to the first fight between Joshua and Usyk, I felt that the undercard wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Meaning, I wasn't too keen on some of the fights that were on that undercard. And I did feel that maybe he'd done that because that was Anthony Joshua's last fight as part of his Sky Sports contract. And obviously Eddie Hearn had already left Sky Sports at that point. I do feel that maybe that undercard was impacted by the fact that it was on Sky Sports. Eddie Hearn wasn't really too bothered about it. Didn't care if he did big numbers or didn't. Because obviously, he doesn't work with Sky Sports anymore. Now, as far as this rematch is concerned, what kind of undercard are we going to get? I think that still depends on what happens with the US rights. So if DAZN acquire the US rights, I think that Eddie Hearn will put on a decent undercard with his own fighters that will appeal to the US audience. I think right now, and I hope I'm wrong on this one, but I've got a feeling he ain't going to care too much about the British fans now, as far as this fight is concerned, because it's not on his platform. He doesn't care. If this fight flops as far as pay-per-view is concerned, Eddie Hearn will not care. Is he going to try and put on a stellar undercard to try and drive through the numbers to help Sky Sports? No, of course he isn't. Why would he? Had it have been shown here in the UK on DAZN pay-per-view, of course it would have been on DAZN pay-per-view as well, then yes, I think he would have done a much better undercard. Now, I'm not going to say that Eddie Hearn's a horrible person or anything. At the end of the day, it's business. Sky Sports is his competitor. Now, if DAZN do not acquire the rights for this fight for the US, this undercard may be in trouble. Maybe. But, hey, listen, maybe he'll put all kind of personal feelings and whatever else aside from it, and maybe he'll put on a stellar undercard, and that'd be fantastic. But I'm not expecting one now. I'm really not. Because if he can give a thumb to the eye of Sky Sports, that's what he'll do. Because again, people here in the UK, they won't think, well, the undercard has nothing to do with Sky Sports. They are just broadcasting it. That's what they're doing. They have their own commentary team or whatever. They have nothing to do with what fights go on this card. None whatsoever. That's all down to Eddie Hearn. But a lot of fans will go, oh, this is Sky Sports, they're being tight, they put on this crap undercard and blah, 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 blah. A lot of people will blame Sky Sports for it. Even though it'll have nothing to do with them, it will be all down to Matchroom. It will be. But anyway, hopefully he puts on a very good undercard. I really hope that he does. But I'm not expecting it, if I'm being brutally honest. Now, as far as the US is concerned, people have asked that question. So I know I've briefly touched on it before. The US rights. Now, the US rights, some people are presuming it's going to be on DAZN. Now, it may end up on DAZN, but as of right now, that's not official. As far as I'm aware, unless I've missed it, that's not official. So the Saudis could actually sell the TV rights to ESPN. They could sell them to Showtime. They could sell them to Fox Sports and all that kind of stuff. It is literally going to be the highest bidder, because they bought the rights, the Saudis bought the rights for £88 million, to about $100 million. So that's a lot of money. So obviously they're going to try and claw as much of that back as possible. Yes, these Saudis have got more money than sense, absolutely no doubt. Does it break their bank balance or hurt them if they don't make a profit? No, but they're going to want to make some profit, of course they are. So they will sell it to the highest bidder. They're not going to have an emotional attachment. But at the same time, maybe Eddie Hearn will have a word with him, say, listen, you know, can we just put it on DAZN? It will really, really help with the getting the country of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia out there, which I think is one of the reasons why maybe Sky Sports picked it up, because obviously here in the UK, it's a bigger platform currently than DAZN. Will that continue as far as boxing is concerned? Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? But I think as far as US is concerned, would it get more viewers on Showtime, or maybe even HBO may want to come back into it, or Fox or ESPN? I mean, what kind of numbers would it really do? Because obviously this fight is going to be on about mid-afternoon for US, depending on what state you're in, of course. It ain't going to do massive numbers anyway due to the time zone. Because obviously the Saudis are 1 hour ahead of the UK, and obviously we're several hours ahead of the US. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with all of that. But it's only really the undercard that is going to concern me a little bit, because no undercard has been announced yet. Is that a coincidence? Maybe Eddie Hearn was waiting to see who got the broadcasting rights. Now, again, if any reporter out there will ask Eddie Hearn, will that now impact the undercard? Of course, he's going to say, no, of course it won't, of course it won't. Well, proof will be in the pudding. It will be in the pudding. We'll have to wait and see what this undercard holds. Hopefully it's a good one, right? So anyway, listen, that's my thoughts on it all. If any of you guys got any more questions, listen, I'm quite happy to respond. And again, help each other. And I think that's one of the good things about this platform, is that a lot of you do help each other. Yes, we have trolls, but everybody does. But if anybody asks a question, it may seem like a pretty simple question, but maybe they're new to boxing, right? Anyway, that's my thoughts. You all drop me yours on this particular situation of Sky Sports acquiring the rights. Do you think it will affect the undercard? I hope not. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you next video.